Hi there, I'm Michelle Bernard. We're going to journal together. Happy 2025. We're going to reflect on some things that have happened to us, experiences we've had in 2024. We're going to release and move forward 2025. I do this consecutively, maybe the last 10 years that I do this reflection and projection forward, but I recommend journaling daily, because it's a good way to really see yourself and to understand what you want, who you are, and who you're becoming. So let's get started by first choosing a very desirable pen. And this one is something that I order all the time from Amazon. This pen writes like liquid, so it's my favorite pen to use. Mind you, you can use an iPad if you want. You don't have to write, okay? But I recommend writing. And I do this year-end, year-beginning journal in my calendar date book. So I use the book that I'm writing all of my work schedule into. I journal this in here because it's easy for me to go look at it. I look at it halfway through the year, and I look at it again at the very end of the year. We're going to get started. And the first thing I want you to do once you've gotten your pen and paper is just sit and look at your paper and take a deep breath. In through your nostril and exhale. And in through your nostril and exhale. 2024. I'd like you to write 3 things that you've learned about yourself in 2024. Very interestingly, you can do these as bullets. So you can just put, I'm going to show you what I mean. I could just do this. These are going to be bullets. And then I can write there 3 things I've learned about myself. Sometimes I put stars instead. And then write 3 things you've learned about yourself in 2024. And then I want you to write a little bit about them. When you're journaling, it's all for you. Whatever you write, no one's going to see. I don't even want you to read it to anybody. And I'm not going to read mine to you, because these are words, images, feelings that belong to you and that help you understand yourself. You're not trying to convey this to anyone else or sound right. So you're allowed to use fragmented sentences. You don't have to write in complete sentences. You're allowed to do bullets and then explain. You're even allowed to write your bullet and then put an arrow and explain. It doesn't really matter how you set it up or how you write it. But let's begin. 3 things you've learned about yourself in 2024. We're going to wrap that one up right now. And I'm looking at this side page because it's going to show me the next question. And I want you to list 3 people who have either supported or encouraged you in the past year, 2024. 3 people who have supported or encouraged you in the last year. You can list them, you can describe them, you can say how they've encouraged or supported you. Very good. Just take a breath in through the nostrils and exhale. These aren't serious breaths. I mean, you don't have to be in a mental space of, you can relax and have a little lightness within. In fact, just being a bit open and maybe inner playful and inner smiley is a nice good way for you to kind of chill as you experience this journal. So our next entry, inhale, exhale, is to list 3 or more things, ideas, or behaviors you're releasing as you move into 2025. To give you a few ideas about what it could be complaining. It could be your media habits of maybe like wasting time sometimes. It could be certain food items. It could be the way that there's inner talk that is kind of sabotaging. Those things you might want to let go of and keep them in the past. And it could be the way you spend time, some area or some way that you spend time that you don't want to anymore. So, 3 things, ideas, maybe a belief about yourself, or a behavior that you're going to release as you move into 2025. And you can write a brief synopsis of, this is going to be 3 things I'm releasing. I'm writing this down in 2025. So I wrote that down. And of course, if you've downloaded the PDF, you already have it. But 3 things you can write now. If you'd like, you can add why. Take a few moments to wrap that one up. Please be mindful that you can return to these on your own and keep adding. So even if you want to leave a little buffer space, so you can go back in there and add some more stuff. And for our next entry, I love this one. Make a list of 5 to 10 or more aims, goals, or experiences that gave you a feeling of accomplishment in 2024. So take a moment and I want you to reflect on the entire year. You might have to really drop back January and you're going to go through the whole year. And these are moments, events, places, experiences where you felt yes throughout the year, where it just was a happy or an accomplished or a satisfactory or fulfilling time, event, placement. Okay? So just take a breath. And then wander back through your year. 5 to 10 aims, goals, or experiences that gave you a feeling of accomplishment in 2024. Once again, you can write a little synopsis of this question. Aims, goals, experiences that gave you a feeling of accomplishment in 2024. And list them. You could even think about a phone call you received, looking really good at an event, being celebrated for something, maybe your birthday, being able to see a relative that matters to you so much or makes you smile a lot or laugh a lot. having something done to you, like your hair done or your makeup done or getting an outfit where you were like, yeah, how about that? You know, one time it was I had planted a garden and the vegetables were growing. It was very exciting. I got a tent this year. I got a tent to put over my bed because I'm on the floor. Everything's on the floor. My chair, I sit on the floor and my bed's on the floor. So I got a tent that fits right over my queen mattress. And I thought, what took me so long to get a tent? I get in there and I am in heaven. And I had gotten tents for my super nieces and nephew. They're my great nieces and nephew, but I call them super. And after I got them a tent, I was like, I'm going to get a tent. It's the greatest thing ever. And I journal in that tent. I'll let you see, maybe. That was a high point. You can take your time and wrap up. These next two are really good ones. So, our next entry. For my mental, emotional health in 2025, I will. You can think about meditation, art, a hobby for your mental health, the way you will talk in confrontations or conversations that turn into kind of arguments. How will you talk to diffuse? For your mental, emotional health in 2025, I will. So keep in mind, how will you behave at work? How will you stay calm? How will you process your emotions? I do through journaling. So make a list or write open sentences. Remember, there aren't rules. I don't really like them with journaling. The only rule is honesty. So if you can read it and you understand it and you wrote it and it's honest, you're journaling properly. So let's take about a minute with this one and then you can come back to it. So I want you to leave a little buffer space, but take about a minute now. Mental health for 2025. Please leave your space there so you can return. And then, of course, for my physical health in 2025, I will. So this next coming year, are you going to start a ritual of exercise? I hope. Or are you going to start a ritual of yoga, of strength training, of walking after dinner, of walking in the morning, of getting up earlier to do your workouts? For your physical health, are you going to change what you eat for dinner so that it's very healthy and allows you to sleep better? And so it might be protein and vegetables for dinner. For my physical health in 2025, I will care about my body instead of stress about my body. So just making a different decision about the way you look at your body. I will join a gym, get a trainer. What will it be for your physical health? So I certainly want you to leave space there because I certainly want you to come back to both of these. You answering these questions for your mental health and your physical health for 2025 is actually going to elevate your entire year. Okay? They're really going to influence everything. So let's leave some space. We're going to come back to that one and add a little bit more. Now, you might not have done this next one last year, which is, did you have a word for 2024? My word last year was connection. And when I wrote that word, then I also wrote what I wanted the experience to be like. Now, I'm not always specific when I write that because I don't specifically know the future, but I am partially specific, which means the future that I kind of want to see, I write it. That's a bold thing to do. Do it. Okay? Let yourself be open to whatever is going to reveal itself to you, but don't be afraid for wanting what you want. Okay? Take my advice for this. Don't be afraid of it. Write it out. What happens when we focus and we have a lot of clarity within? We know ourselves better. We know what we want. Okay? We also, when we start to see glimmers of it in reality, we notice them right away because whatever you focus on, you have a larger experience of and you have hyper awareness of. And so things that you're not focused on at all, if you have a goal but you're not really focused on it, it can be delayed for a very long time because you don't have a heightened sense of knowing, there it is. All right. So we really want to focus on specifics, but we at the same time want to be available to a nice, generous, wonderful path that might also illuminate. And this is something that you will understand through experience, not through trying to process what I just said. Okay. You'll understand it through experience. So last year, what was your word for 2024? And if you didn't have one, that's okay. What do you think it was? And how did you experience that word? So here's an idea of some words. You could start writing if you don't need to hear this part. But some words that you could choose from. Mine was connection, creativity, cooperation, fulfillment, joy, productivity, excitement, strength, new, rebirth, devotion, discipline, freedom, gratitude, illumination, purpose, friendship, courage, laughter. Your word for 2024, and how did you experience it? All right, we're moving right along, and this is it. This is the last one we're going to write about, which is, what is your word for 2025? All right, you got a host of words, and typically the word will come to you. It's sitting in you already. So my word is focus. And I usually choose 3 words because 3 words form a triangle or a very solid foundation, a solid base. So I choose 3 words, and I really only share one of them. I keep the other 2 to myself. So my top word is focus. And then I want you to describe how you'd like to experience your word for the year. And I'm going to give you a substantial amount of time, 3 whole minutes, to do this, okay? So sit with yourself, think of your word, write your word. One thing I like to do is, because I'm an artist, I like to kind of write my word in a bubble letter and put a frame around it and the whole situation. And then I write fun cursive, or however you want to write, but I do fun cursive explanation of how I want to experience that word. And I write in both bullet forms, like things I want to focus on, and then the feeling of focus within me, what that would feel like. So I'm giving you this and inviting you to share and do it like that, or do it your way, which is the best way, by the way. So your word for 2025, and how would you like to experience it? And take 3 minutes. Hallelujah, you did it. I'm really happy that you joined me and journaled with me, Michelle Bernard. And I would be not really doing what I love if I didn't tell you that I have this journal. It's a wellness journal for your body and mind, emotions, and a lot of the things that we talked about today are in it. Like, you look at it and say, I desire to feel this week, and you get to circle what that is. You are able to write about your wellness aims, logging and journaling your wellness aims. There's journaling pages each week for you to fill out, and then a log for you to log your workouts and your food. There's actually so many wonderful things in this 7-week Paper Coach Wellness Journal. So many wonderful things. And here's the dealio. If you do this for 7 weeks, it gets your mind and body so focused that it's going to carry you through the rest of the year, especially if you do this and then reflect on it. It'll carry you through the rest of the year. So if you've been having a hard time getting yourself to work out regularly or focus on your wellness, then you want the Paper Coach. And this is on Amazon, and there's a link here. Also, this one is a journal for teens and tweens. It's a very cute journal. There's a little wellness stuff in here, but a lot of this is just self-reflection and understand who I am. So this is called Whatever. It's a journal for the stuff I think, and it's for teens and tweens. I wrote this for young folks. Lots of fun pages, looking within the self. Check it out, please. You'll be very happy that you did. It is my joy all the time to encourage and inspire you to live healthy, to feel like you're not alone in this entire journey called life. When do we arrive? We don't. We just carry on together. And it ain't that bad. We got this. Thanks for journaling with me today. And I'll see you soon. I'm in my tent. I told you. I'm in my tent. It's so amazing. I'm not kidding.